We going? Here we are. Good morning. Back on the bike. And it seems like a good time to talk about chafing. No, of course we're not going to talk about chafing. Disgusting. God, it's like a bit of raw steak down there, frankly. Going out anyway. Got fed up. It's currently okay. It currently looks as though it's healed. So we're going to go out, we're going to climb a big mountain, we're going to talk about some history, we're going to descend a mountain, and then we're going to go for a mini del dia because my mum's here. Hold on, I've got Mrs. Yakko already. Ma Yakko. So that's what's on the plan for today. So we've been through some pretty interesting times since we last spoke last week. These weather systems keep pushing in onto the coast. So we've had another couple of emergencies, culminating in yesterday where we actually got as far as having an emergency beacon went off on all of our phones, which told us to stay in place. So effectively a lockdown. It was bad. We did have a lot of rain. But yet again, our tiny little area missed the worst of the flooding, which happened very, very close to us, but not on us. We seem to have been extraordinarily lucky in that regard. We still had inches and inches of water, but we didn't have the 2 inches in 30 minutes for a total of nearly 8 inches in 12 hours, which was forecast. Others did, but this time, and because of what happened in Valencia, the emergency alerts are going off in plenty of time, giving you at least 6 hours notice that things could get very, very bad indeed. This is my first time on a bike since last week. So hopefully the nether regions will hold together. We are going to go up a big mountain. I'm not sure if I'll make it, but we're going to try. Not sure that one worked. I think it's our only opportunity of the day. We're in our neighbouring village of Garcia. Well, we're just heading out of it really. The other way, though hardly anyone lives here, they used to. Cooperative built by and for the farmers of Garcia. And when it's open in there you can buy olive oil and wines and vinegar and nuts, the produce of the region. It was about 6 or 7 degrees overnight. It's about 12 degrees now, but the sun, which we haven't seen in almost as long as a standard week in the UK, we haven't seen it probably for I think 9 days. That's got to be a record in my 20 plus years of living in Spain. 9 days without seeing the sun is unheard of. That smell absolutely wonderful, like essential oils. It's got some dogs down here below us. They probably haven't had any cyclists to bark at for a good week. These ones can get up on the road. They look fierce, but they're not. At least I hope they're not. It's a really pleasant little ride out so far. Climb's going nicely, got into a little rhythm, and we're just slowly ticking away the kilometres. I'm on the steepest part of the first part of the climb now, which is 9%. Because this is quite close to my house, I usually try and preserve the battery for this part, and so I'm normally in the lowest level of assist and in second gear. So now I'm in the mid-level of assist and in second gear, doing the same climb as usual, and it just shows how just a few weeks off can really affect your fitness. So this is the top of the first 5k. We're now going to turn and go up those. There's 1, 2, 3 ridges. Yeah, they do get nasty. That wasn't too bad. I didn't have to change down to first. I am pretty pooped, but hopefully I can recover for the next bit. Certainly it will lift my spirits going around this corner, because it's got the most, you know, it's the most beautiful view of the Priorat. Diversion, because I've talked to you about El Molar before, and it's always been about the Civil War. Well, its history is a lot older than that. Don't think I've talked to you about the old part of El Molar before it was ever called El Molar, which they currently call Calvary. And Calvary is an archaeological site where they've been finding bits and pieces from any number of different groups. The earliest, and this is what surprised them, is that they found what is effectively a flint farm. This is in Neolithic times, so the flints would have been used for tools mostly. It's not known whether people came here to have flints, you know, to buy flints essentially, or whether they came here and did their own, sort of pick your own flint. It was an important site, and this is 6000 BC, I think this is the other way in, but should I check first? I've never been this way. It's obviously gravel, but as I keep saying, it's an exploring site, exploring page. What are we? Anyway, let's go and find these bloody flints and hopefully not get a puncture. That's very steep, isn't it? I never ever lay my bike down, but looks like we're here. These look like the typical Iberian-esque sort of buildings. This must have been the way in. That looks like some sort of fortification, and these certainly look like foundation stones. But after that, there was evidence of quite a surprisingly large town up here, and this is pre-Iberian. So these are Neolithic settlements. There's no sign, no trace whatsoever of Iberian people living here. And as you know, all the places that we've been, they are always here. It's a high point, there's water, and it's easily defended. But apparently these aren't Iberian. It skipped Iberian and went straight to Roman. So what we're seeing here might well be the Roman villa that lived on this site. So it was a town before, but when the Romans came, it basically would have supported a very, very rich family. Anyway, Romans, what happened then? The town itself, El Molar, is a Moorish settlement. They were reconquered, the reconquistadors took it in 1160, and it was first recorded as being a Christian settlement in 1161. But back in those days they recorded it as being hearths, literally many homes there were, and that's how they would have taxed it. So there were 24 hearths in something like 1360s, reaching a maximum of about 1,000 hearths in 1880 something, and that was when this would have been all vines. And then, as I've told you before, the phylloxera bug came and destroyed just about every vine in the entirety of the Priorat, and it was unsustainable to live here anymore, and people left. And it's now got a population of, can't remember that one, I might be getting confused with the next village we're going to. Anyway, there's a bit of history. Hopefully I can just pop down the side, it doesn't get too bad. actually that bumpy, it's more I'm nervous about getting a puncture. Riding it is easy enough. Ooh, that sounds horrible. That's strange. Not making any noise now. Despite all these twists and turns, which look lovely, we've managed to acquire a headwind. Oh, I love it up here. Just a road between El Millar and La Figuera. Well, we're about halfway up and I'm feeling surprisingly good. Everything seems to have clicked back into place. I'm what are we on now? It's only 6%, it's not too bad. I'm about halfway up the cassette. I've got the assist on low. Legs are just pumping away. It feels good. It really does. Missed it. And of course you can always change up a couple of gears and just stand to take the old pressure off the nethers. It never hurts when you're climbing up something steep that you've got lovely views. I really don't like tree-lined climbs because you want to be able to look out and try and take the attention away from your suffering. But suffering I am. Going to be a bit late for lunch. I'm supposed to be there in 20 minutes. I'm still heading away rather than towards. Oh, flipping heck. It's got a bit naughty as well. Just as I'm suffering, just heading towards the next 12% bit. It's going to be a quick shout out to my mate Jace, who's on a weight loss journey of his own, and he is putting me to shame. He's doing fantastically well. Keep it up, mate. It feels like you're up on top of the plateau now. It's just got a few nasty little surprises left in store. But we are in the sun. The temperature has gone up. I'm now regretting my under layer. Well, I'm trying my hardest, but it looks like we're going to get to La Figuera when I should be in Asco for lunch. We can do it pushing on. It's a pity because I'm already doing a few ride-bys now. You can just make out the church tower through the gloom. This was another Arab town originally. Also reconquered. When they reconquered it, they gave it a really strange name, Gobernatic or something like that. Really weird. It's now home to 119 people. 19. Such a shame, isn't it? Quite a big town. Again, this is about 2,000 of its people. Street. It looks tiny, but that's because it would have been the main street when it's horses and carts. This can be a beautiful view across to the Pyrenees, all the way to Picaneto, the tallest one at whatever that is, 3,400 meters, something like that. But we're not going to see a thing because it's thick fog on this side. This building just over my shoulder is the wine cooperative, and they've obviously been pressing grapes. It smells absolutely fantastic. Hello my darling young. I'm gonna be late. I'm only just up at La Figuera. It's a rapid way down, but yeah, I'm gonna be late. Could you order for me? The guy who runs the restaurant that we're going to is we're on good terms with him, so hopefully he'll entertain them until I get there. Got a bit more climbing to do, and then one of my favourite descents, again in two parts. The first part is very technical, the second part is hang on and hope for the best, and I've got the KOM on the second part. because I can hang on and go quicker than most people because of my lard. Such a beautiful road. It's a very, very slight incline, but you just feel like you can power through it. I don't know why. I don't know how steep it is. I've got the wrong screen on, but let's say it's 3 or 4%. But I'm on in the big ring. Back to feeling good again, though. You do when you get to the top of a climb, don't you? Bit of moisture on that bend there. Got a couple of hairpins now. Yeah, a bit more. I don't think there's anything less than a 90-degree bend for the next few miles. So we'll show you bits of it. We've got a lovely hairpin here. Very, very difficult to get right. You need to come in ever so late to hit the apex, otherwise you get pushed out over here, which I'll do, but luckily you can see the road ahead of you, so there's nothing coming. I'm only going a half effort. Don't really know what's around the corner. You can see there's a few mud patches on the road from where these cliffs have just slid a little. And any little patch of mud is deadly here because it's clay, this red clay, it's terracotta. And you only need a tiny speck and your wheel is gone. Again, you can look all the way around to see if there's anything coming. So I'm good for the next half mile probably. I still don't like to cross the meridian really, because you never know. Some idiot in some sort of rally car coming way too fast. It's also more fun having to go around all these tight bends. Got the steep bit now. It's not very fast, about 65 max. Is the end of the twisty fun part. We've got some beautiful climbs going out this way into the Priorat proper. We've done loads of times, but we're turning left, going to have lunch. So we're currently in the Priorat, but in about 50 metres we're back in Ribera d'Ebre. So down into the drops, let's go. I've been trying to push on a bit because my ladies are in what seems to be a bar full of blokes, and them. We reserved a table thinking it was a restaurant and it's a bar, so it's not ideal. So we do need to get there. I don't want them feeling uncomfortable. Not that they should bloody have to feel uncomfortable. Come on. Oh, it used to be able to get over this in the biggest gear. There we go. A bit slower than usual. Where are you? There you are. Not an auspicious start, or rather not an auspicious end, because the restaurant was absolutely jam-packed. Mrs. Yaku and Ma Yaku had been there for 35 minutes and they hadn't even been talked to yet about having a drink or anything. So I got there absolutely rammed. No one had any food yet. There's probably 50 people, and so we've decided to leave. So I've just popped back to the car. We're gonna try and head off somewhere else. Battery ran out on the way down the on the descent, so I couldn't show you any of the groovy bits, like the bit where there was gravel right across the road, and I swore a lot because it was that's quite scary. But it's a bit of a poor show, really. Anyway, we're going to go and have something to eat, and then I'm going to ride home from there. It's going to be a bit longer then. I'll add another 20 kilometres onto the ride, and I think the camera's a bit foggy. So apologies for that, but I'll see you again in a minute. We got the blues on the run. Roll out. Kidding, of course. That would be foolish, very foolish, riding on populous roads, inebriated. Certainly not me. Anyway, I just happened to be on the drunks road. This is the road that drunks take to avoid all the police stops that are on the main roads. Shocking. I actually haven't had a drop, so I'm just mucking about. Anyway, that's us done for the day. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit low-key, partly because I wasn't too sure how well my nethers would stand up to abuse. And they've stood up beautifully. I really hope we're done and dusted with that now. The next one, if all goes to plan, is actually going to be, whoa, bit of mud on the road, from the Pyrenees. Really looking forward to it. It's got so much. It has got so much. It could be a real classic. I hope it is. And until the next one, thanks for watching.